Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Up back into the video today. And today I'm going to be going over what I believe the New Orleans Pelicans offseason plan should be after getting eliminated. I'm sorry, not eliminated, which they were, but swept in the first round by the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm going to give, I'm gonna cut the New Orleans Pelicans some slack. I mean, they're playing a very talented and great defensive team. Number one seed in the Oklahoma City Thunder without their star player, Zion Williamson. But at the same time, I look at the way they played. Look at the way they got blown out in Game 3 at home by 30 points, whatever it was. In Game 3, I'm sorry, you don't get blown out at home like that in the postseason. I don't care who you have out. I mean, to lose at 30 at home is absurd in the postseason. But at the same time, Thunder are a great team. So, they just beat the Mavericks by like 23 in Game 1. So, the Thunder are a really talented team. So, it definitely is, it's a tough loss, but at the same time, it is. I look at it as, potentially, for this Pelicans team, they were playing a really great team, and they were without a really good player. So I'm gonna go over what I believe the Pelicans should do this offseason. Look, at the same time, even though they were without Zion, they need to make changes this offseason. They need to make some additions. They need to improve this roster. I'm going to talk about what they need to do. Starting off with a big trade, it's time to get rid of Ingram. Ingram's a great player, but I think he's a solid second option. That's one thing, but he's not a number one scorer. He's not a number one player on a team, and when you got a guy like Zion Williamson, who's a great player and is always going to be the number one player on this team, no matter who else joins it, in my opinion, unless it was someone huge, someone like a big addition, like let's say, honestly, I could see if New Orleans traded for Kevin Durant, still I wouldn't see it as, I still think it would be Zion's team, to be honest, with how Kevin Durant is aging. But I think it would take some pretty big superstars to take over the role with Zion. This is Zion's team. He's the number one player on their team. And I think it would take someone, definitely, big superstar wise to take over that. But he is someone who has injury problems, and is someone who finds himself to get injured, like he did at the end of the postseason, which was tough for this Pelicans team. Getting injured in the play-in game. And what I have to say about it is that you got to add in someone who's going to be able to get the job done if Zion is not available. And I think it's time to trade Brandon Ingram, just because, in fact, I don't think he gets that job done. So here's the trade I have. Let's get rid of Brandon Ingram, Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, 3 first-round picks for Clint Capella, and I'm just kidding, Clint Capella and Trae Young. Trae Young is a great scorer. He's a great facilitator. Also, you get a nice center replacement for Jonas Valanciunas. Clint Capella is a really good defensive center. He's a good scorer. He's a good rebounder. If Jonas Valanciunas is going to leave you, which he most likely will, I think that's a good addition. So then a couple of I have the Pelicans bringing in 2 free agency moves. Number one, re-sign Najee Marshall. I liked what he did for this Pelicans team last year. I think that definitely should be a re-signing right there. And then you need a backup center with Larry Nance Jr. off the team. I think you should sign Andre Drummond. Should be a cheap option. So then what does the team look like after that? Also pick up team options of Jose Alvarado and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. But what does the team look like after all that? At point guard, you have Trae Young. At shooting guard, you have CJ McCollum. I'd like to see CJ at that shooting guard position back. I mean, we saw CJ, and when him and Dame were with each other in Portland, CJ played shooting guard. I really liked what he showed at the shooting guard position, and honestly, would really love to see him back at that shooting guard position again if Trae Young joins this team. And I think he might become a better player, a better scorer for this Pelicans team if Trae Young is on the roster. Then at small forward, you have Herb Jones. Power forward would be Zion Williamson. Center would be Clint Capella. Then off the bench, you'd have Trey Murphy III, Andre Drummond, Jordan Hawkins, who I really love, the guy they drafted in the first round last year, Najee Marshall, Jose Alvarado, and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. So I think it's a really solid team for this Pelicans. It's definitely improved from last year. Getting rid of Ingram and Larry Nance Jr., and bringing in guys like Trae Young, Clint Capella, Andre Drummond, definitely an improved roster for this Pelicans team. Let me know your thoughts, and peace out.